Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting episode of Going Commando. This is the second time I'm recording this because I forgot to hit the record button.
Like deja vu.
If this intro is somewhat lackluster, I do apologize in advance. But yes, Going Commando. Again, I'm Tank Rodriguez. Got my co-host with me as always. I got Dirty Derek 3 times.
Oh,
last time
it's like the Candy Man. You say it three times, and then I come up and I'm like,
we all need a shower after that.
Yep. And then I just start saying "Baby Got Back" and say it's long, strong, and I'm bound to get the friction on this podcast.
Rumple smooth skin.
Rumple smooth skin.
Yeah,
underrated lyric there.
I know I already asked you since we're doing this the second time. But how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great, man.
Just for the audience.
I'm doing great.
How's your 2020 going so far?
My 2020 is going good. Yeah.
Awesome.
I always like to say still walking upright.
There we go.
And that's a good thing.
That's always good. Always good. And with us, a very, very special co-host.
Who is it?
You know him from the Stable of Studs podcast, Adam Freakn Danger.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for having me here on Going Commando. I'm just trying to keep the seat warm here for Jim James, Jimothy, Jimodine.
That's right.
That's right.
James cannot be here tonight. Unfortunately, he's actually replacing Prince Harry in the monarchy. He's talking to Prince Charles and Camilla and Kate Middleton and the Queen all about Cox.
The details are a little hairy.
Oh boy!
But what's going on there?
He's actually comparing. He's actually going in through and comparing to the Queen all the dick sizes of the previous monarchs throughout history.
It's interesting you say that, Derek, because in England it's referred to as a scepter.
Oh, all right.
I didn't know if you knew that.
The scepter. I thought it was
the flatulent scepter.
Well,
I don't want to be around that.
Sorry, not the flatulent.
The flaccid.
The flaccid scepter.
That's flaccid. That's
not
right.
the fart. Not the fart penis.
That's right. That sounds like just a bad VD. Like don't get the flaccid scepter, kids.
So before we
don't get no fart penises.
That's on like Urban Dictionary now.
Fart. That's right. So
fart
guys
penis.
Fart penis. All right. It's going in the books.
You have to have a talk with before you have intercourse. Like, look, I have something.
Look, right? Guys.
I have flatulent scepter.
You know how they say like this has never happened to me before? Well, it kind of has.
You ever seen that SNL skit where and I forget. I don't know. It's McConaughey or like John Hamm, but he's a coach, and his wife is like really dumb. She keeps coming to the locker room. Now Woody Harrelson, and she's like, baby, is your penis still making that sound?
I think I remember
and
that.
everyone's like, what sound does it make? It's like, it makes kind of like that sound. She's like, honey, nobody needs to hear my penis is fine. And then and
the players are like, Coach, you should get that.
Coach, you get like that. No, we're fine. We got to go in there and win the game. It's like all of a sudden from his pants, it was like, it was a duck.
That's awesome.
That is the typical sound of the flatulent penis.
There we go.
Sounds like a mallard, if you ask me.
That's right.
Well,
duck calls.
Well, a good penis transition, as we do so in Going Commando. I asked you earlier. I'm going to ask you again.
You said a good penis transition. I was like, oh boy.
Jared Leto, Morbius.
Jared Leto, Morbius.
What did you think? What are your takes on that
trailer?
trailer?
No, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty exciting. Again, it looks like it's a nice halfway. It could be the bridge. Now, it could be the bridge between a Spider-Man Far From Home and Spider-Man, Homecoming and Venom. Venom was kind of dark and cynical and silly at times, and it wasn't the best film in the world, but it did have a market. Like, a lot of people wanted to go see this movie. Now, with Morbius, if this thing does decent, if it does okay, I think it can set a nice stage where you can bring in Spider-Man, you can bring in Carnage, you can bring in maybe the Sinister Six to come in, or you can bring in guys like Kraven the Hunter or Blade. This would be a real nice backdoor for Blade.
So that's what I heard, is that potentially like this would be a great segue, because apparently Blade at some point will be in the MCU. That's what I heard, because it's a character that's still owned
right
by Marvel. what I found out the other day was that apparently Morbius actually was supposed to have a cameo at the ending of one of the Wesley Snipes Blade movies.
Really?
And there's footage online. It's very choppy, but you can watch it. It's like an alternate ending or like a cut scene of their take on Morbius, like showing up.
I have to look that up.
to tie it in. It's on YouTube. You can find it, but I'm pretty excited. I like the fact that it's got Vulture in it. Michael Keaton by far is like
you put him in any movie.
Yeah, he's by far my probably my favorite Spider-Man villain up to this point.
Yeah.
Just because he's so you want to like him. That's the
But
thing.
that one scene in the car, and he goes, "Hey, babe, I gotta give him the dad talk," and he just turns over to Peter.
Yeah.
And it's the most suspenseful thing I've seen in any movie. And he's like, "I know what you're doing," and he just gives him that glare, and it makes your hair stand on end for a movie about Spider-Man being in high school and missing the bus and things like that.
Yeah, I mean that part too. I was on the fence. Peter Parker, just take the deal, man. It's a girl you like. You can come back and get him another time. Just go to the fucking dance.
Yeah, man. And he's going to die one day. He's pretty old.
Yeah. I mean, eventually he won't be a flying. I'm sure that shit is radioactive. He's probably got cancer somewhere, in the rectum or something.
Yeah. I think too, that's part of the film too. Is Spider-Man never takes the easy way out. The one time he did, Uncle Ben paid for it, right? So he's never take the easy way out.
Yeah. Then there was a whole Gwen Stacy debacle too. Hey, let me save you. Oh, God damn it.
That reminds me, because I spent about a half hour the other day watching YouTube videos. I watched Kevin Smith talk about all facets of Spider-Man on TV and movies. And so obviously he talks about Tobey Maguire. He essentially says Tobey Maguire was a good Peter Parker because he was kind of nebbishy and oh, MJ, let me take a photo. But he was also 45 at the time, so he didn't really look like he was probably 31, 32, but when you look at it now, he does not look like a teenager.
Oh, is this Tobey Maguire? Tobey Maguire, 2001. He was by far, in my opinion, the creepiest Spider-Man that ever existed.
Yeah, he was always hiding behind the camera.
He had bodies in Aunt May's basement. All right, he's making a spider suit out of skin.
I'm just saying, any man that beats up Macho Man is not a friend of mine.
That's true.
He went over. He was working the hard way, as we know. Was working stiff.
Crossover podcast.
This is what happens when you bring the stable of studs in. You're really going to fall into the rabbit hole of what was it, Crusher Creel? No. Bonesaw McGraw.
Bonesaw's ready.
Yeah.
The next 3 minutes. So, fun fact, the way he does his 3 minute, his 3 sign, I started doing that because of him, and now it's just kind of the second
naturally.
Like the shot?
I got you for 3 minutes.
3 minutes. 2 minutes in the front, 1 minute in the back. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, that's so perfect.
That's how you secretly just found out a lot about Macho Man's personal life.
You found out a lot about Miss Liz.
Oh, man.
Poor woman.
Woo.
She was quiet all the time.
Not to deviate Miss Liz.
Cool.
Let's not denigrate
the dead.
But is Miss Liz dead?
Yeah, they both
died.
Yeah.
Fuck! Are you
she
serious?
died before Macho Man. She OD'd.
Fuck!
Macho Man had a heart attack.
That's so sad.
Driving and then just crashed into a tree or something.
That's so sad. I mean,
so you remember Lex Luger?
Yeah.
So they started dating, and they were both drug addicts.
Liz and Luger, not Liz and Mach.
Yeah. So then, and Macho was okay with it. He was like, "Hey, Liz is happy. I'm happy." But yeah, they were both addicted to pills, and
fuck, that sucks. She was hot,
and he was supplying. He was the supplier.
Who? Macho?
No,
Luger.
Lex.
Oh, I was like, oh God, your ex and this other guy you're dating, and you're supplying with pills, and you're the dealer. This is
crazy. It's a very wrestling
crazy
triangle. But now Luger's in a wheelchair.
But the thing about back to kind of Tobey Maguire was is basically his dance moves in part 3, which are by far
boy. Oh my God! Just pointing and dancing and looking emo.
Yeah. Do you think while he's filming that, he's like, dude, this is fucking badass. I'm gonna get so much puss because of.
Well, he was real buds. He was real tight with Leo, right? Leo. And that was wasn't the pussy posse.
Oh yeah, that's right. They get the pussy posse. Which, by the way, can I just say, if anybody's seen the people that make up said pussy posse,
it's alliterative.
They're the fuggliest people ever. They're really riding on the coattails of Leo's
Absolutely.
Pussy Posse.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing all the heavy lifting there, right?
They got Tobey Maguire, who looks like he's 40. They got Lucas Haas, who's like this tall, gangly motherfucker. He looks like a B version of like Elliot from E.T. These weird looking group of guys, and they always like wear the fedoras, and I don't know, man. A different time when people apparently just.
David Blaine's in the Pussy Posse?
Oh no!
Because he did magic. That's why. Because he's like.
Harmony Korine?
Oh my god, he was a director. He did the Brown Bunny, I think.
That dude looks horrible.
He does these awful. Oh no, you know who he was married to or dated?
Who?
Didn't he date Chloe Sevigny?
Probably.
Kevin Connolly, J.R. Ferguson.
Oh, this is like
Kevin Conley's
Entourage.
Lucas Haas.
Yeah, Lucas. I told you. Yeah.
R.D. Robb.
I don't even know who that is.
Elizabeth Berkley is in the Pussy Posse?
No, I think she was probably maybe a person that visited the Pussy Posse.
Well,
but,
you know.
She was in Showgirls.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she could have been part of that. She was a...
It'd be like, when the Rat Pack, had like Shirley MacLaine or somebody hanging out with them. Like, they should have one doll face that could, she's okay.
I feel like they were called the Rat Pack. These guys are called the Pussy Posse. Like, I feel like you're being really presumptuous.
Well, they were rats.
That's right. That's right.
Hey,
Actually, I just want to see a group of people just come out and be like, we're the Cock Brigade.
Which reminds me, I did hear the YMCA played at the game today, and I was like, yeah, man, this would be cool to hang out with all the boys. Like, totally unironic. I was like, this would be cool. Yeah, you get to work out and good meal. I'm sorry, there's a tangent about the YMCA here, but, I mean, it's dope. Everyone still dances to it today. You get the crowd on their feet. But when you talk about the Cock Brigade, I thought, YMCA.
I actually wanted to go back. Speaking of cock, I wanted to go back because I had a question about Morbius. You think this is a redemption role for him if he does good for Jared Leto, as previously to the Joker?
He's gonna do. I think he could do well.
Here's the thing: is like Jared Leto. What he's gonna do is he's gonna do this movie, whether it's good, bad, or otherwise. After this, he's gonna do some like artsy period piece, like Dallas Buyers Club. You're gonna win himself like an Oscar or something like that. Let's come back and do a couple of shit movies. Like. That's what he did. He was Dallas Buyers Club Day. I'm going to be in Blade Runner, and I'm going to be in the new Blade Runner.
I kind of liked him. I'm going
to be Joker.
I
did like the new one. I'm going to be in Joker. I'm going to be the Joker, and now I'm going to be Morbius, and then Dallas Buyers Club 2. No,
I lived longer next time around. No, hot take here. He wasn't the worst part of Suicide Squad. Like Suicide Squad doesn't work as a film because the easiest writing would have been. The Joker's on the loose, and we have to put together a Suicide Squad of people to track down the Joker, right? Like the Joker's on a rampage. Why don't we get someone that knows him so well, but kind of loves him in Harley Quinn, and then you don't really know if like she's gonna like turn on the group or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As they try to go after the Joker. But no, you had to bring in this Eclipso kind of chick that has like a giant space garbage in the sky, and
I thought it was entertaining.
The Enchantress, like the worst part of that movie.
The villain was dumb.
Yeah, it was just like I really liked the movie, and I was kind of excited that they're doing another one. Mm-hmm. I'm glad they're adding more people to it. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
I really liked the Jay Hernandez's character. Who was
you liked him?
Yeah.
To me, he was just bad stereotype, and I was like,
super cholo.
Oh god,
he was. But I just like.
But that's not bad stereotype. I have like 10 friends like that. Like,
I know
with superpowers.
Well, not with superpowers. I mean, you get them on some angel dust. He has superpowers.
Super speed, super strength.
No, yeah. I mean, and having James Gunn take over for Suicide Squad too. So to me, I thought Suicide Squad was like a cool answer to Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Like we've got these misfits, we throw them together, we put a cool 70s soundtrack to it, and like this is the variables that go into making Guardians of the Galaxy, which was nothing, right? Like people didn't ever talk about the Guardians of the Galaxy before the movie came out,
right?
And so you tried to replicate it, but you took all the wrong lessons. In trying to make a movie that looked cool, that used Bohemian Rhapsody, but the story is bananas and the characters are one note and the bad guy no one cares about. Mm-hmm. Now you're taking the director, the guy, the brains behind Guardians of the Galaxy, put him in the driver's seat of your Suicide Squad, and I think he's going to do well. It looks like all the actors that they're bringing in are going to.
Yeah, you know why he's going to do well? Because it's going to be a big fuck you to Marvel. That's why. Because they booted him from Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and then they found out, oh, wait a minute, he's going to work for DC. Oh shit, we better bring this guy back in.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to finish this other movie first. Then I'm going to give you Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yeah. It's my favorite Marvel series. It really is.
Yeah. What? Guardians?
Heck yeah, dude.
Me too.
It's amazing.
But I'm excited though. I think that I like the premise of Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I like Killer Croc. I thought they did a good job with him. There's rumors that so I was watching this breakdown the other day, the new Harley Quinn movie, Birds of Prey, which I actually kind of like. I'm excited about it.
Oh, yeah. Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Yeah, Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Yeah, you bought my ticket already.
Yeah, that's right.
And Rosie Perez like coming up. Hey, Mookie! Hey, it's just us!
Everything I think I think of it.
I'm on Jeopardy!
Yeah,
what is
happened to
quiche?
you?
That's
What's quiche?
She's great, so I love that. But somebody said that there's potential rumor that she kills off the Joker.
I mean, it could... Maybe like off screen, which would kind of suck.
There's a whole scene where she like blows up in the previous shoot, blows up the Acme plant. Somebody's like, she dives out of the car and she's like, just wonder if the Joker was in that car. And she just ducked out and let him like drive into the plant. Because,
so it's like an open-ended kind of deal. Like you want to assume that he's dead, but
my question is, she's got to go back if they're going to do. She's going to be in Suicide Squad 2. Then I assume at the end of Birds of Prey, she's going to go back to prison. They're going to capture it. Batman's going to come in. Robert Pattinson, Batman.
Yeah,
I'm excited about that. But, so besides Batman, like why do you think DC does so poorly versus Marvel?
I like Wonder Woman.
Oh boy,
yeah, I did like Wonder Woman. Surprisingly, because she's not my favorite character at all.
Yeah,
but Gal Gadot.
The thing. Oh, so I've got plenty of thoughts, and this is a great question, Tank. In a nutshell. Marvel built its empire movie by movie, and we have to go back to Iron Man in 2008. Like, let's think about what Robert Downey Jr. was like in 2008. Like, he was just sort of kind of clean, but even when they were making the film, they didn't want Robert Downey Jr. to play Iron Man because he was uninsurable. Mm-hmm. And Jon Favreau had to say, no, I'm not making this movie with Tom Cruise. I'm not making this movie with anyone else but RDJ. And it was such a big gamble at the time that it paid off.
He was coming off Scanner Darkly too with it,
but
big
that's
cast.
not Iron Man. Like that's not like a tentpole movie.
He still was getting his legs back into the movie world.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, in 2006. So everything that Marvel did though was they had to again build it movie by movie. You get to 2012, you get the Avengers. This is great. Whereas DC said, let's play catch up now. We're going to start now. You guys did all that hard work and you built up the audience and you taught people who'd never read comic books. Okay, this is Iron Man, this is Thor, this is Captain America. People who'd never picked up a comic book a day in their life can understand and they can go into Avengers thinking, I know what this is about. Boom. DC said, okay, we're going to skip all the hard work and we're going to throw you just...
We're going to put the eggs in one basket and here's this movie.
Yeah, we're going to build out the Justice League before we build out the individual films. Yeah. And then we're going to work backwards.
And Justice League should have been the end result of all that.
And tonally, again, you didn't even get Superman right. Superman should be a character of light, a character of I'm a good guy, this is good. And if you have your Batman, who's kind of not grimy, but a darker edged, you have light and shadow, right? You have a good, you've got the cowboy that wears the white hat that comes in, that has a square jaw, that does everything the right way, and then you've got a guy who lives off of fear, who beats people up. Yeah. And so obviously there's going to be a natural tension, and that is the story of Superman versus Batman. Not, well, I'm kind of emo and nobody likes me and my dad says I shouldn't use my powers, but I have them anyway. I hate it. And then you've got other guys like, my parents are dead and I'm old and I just drink wine now and I don't like you either. But really, Lex Luthor was behind it the whole time. And it's like...
And then Jesse Eisenberg comes out and he's like, hey guys, I built this social network that will actually put superheroes and villains together in the same room, and you guys can be friends online. They're like, Lex, what are you talking about? He's like, never mind. I've been behind the whole time. That's a different movie. No, yeah.
What did you say, Martha?
What did you say that name?
Did you know my mom's name was Martha? Oh. No. And to me, I have a grudge, and this is just a prejudice, but I do not like Zack Snyder. I do not like the director at all. I don't like Watchmen, the movie. I don't like Watchmen. I don't like 300. I don't like anything. I do like Dawn of the Dead 2004.
Yes.
Like that is
he needs to stick with zombie movies. He's actually doing another zombie movie. He's going back to zombie called like Road to the Dead.
Yeah.
It's a heist movie for Netflix.
Interesting.
It's,
Why don't you like 300 though?
300. Oh my God. Okay, I hate all the CGI in the background, and it was nothing but just machoistic, xenophobic. Like, this is Sparta. Look how tough we are. We hate foreigners, and we hate also the enfeebled. Like, there was that one character that, you know, I guess he was crippled, but he was also but he was also like a spy.
Throw him off the cliff.
Persians. Yeah. And then the Persians are every like Middle Eastern again stereotype. It comes back to like, this is the bad guys are all just like are different people, and you know, we're men, and we're you know, perfect and peerless.
We don't wear a lot of clothes. That dashiki means you're bad.
Exactly. It's just
You're
so
wearing too much clothes.
That's right.
You're not revealing enough.
Jewelry that is not meant for the face, but for the hands.
And and the Athenians are like, they're like boy lovers. So I mean, you go back. This is like 2006. It's as a movie, because all it is just like a Monster Energy drink and a Van Dutch hat, like put to cinema, and people called it a film, and like, this is great. And I hated it. I loved it. It was you can't watch it now and be like, oh man, what a great masterwork of cinema.
They actually played it at the gym the other day when I was there. And I was
that's a good movie to get a pump to, you know.
Well, here's what I'll say with the DC like universe.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No. It's I mean, I think it ties in together. Is like, there are two things. One, to your point, like they didn't take their time with it. Like, how can you have a Batman versus Superman movie if you don't have a Batman story?
Yeah.
Like that you have told yet, and then you're never going to get that Batman story, which sucks even more because Affleck won't make it, or he's dragging his heels on it. People don't want to work with him. He's got problems.
And he was a good Batman. Like, I always go on a ledge to say
he's a good Batman, not a good Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. He was decent as Bruce. Like, no one does Bruce Wayne well. No one's really done
Keaton.
He's done it okay, but I don't think in terms of like Bruce Wayne, especially in different movies, he should be again like a playboy. He should be like James Bond, like, hey, I'm having a couple of drinks, but really, like, I'm spying on the bad guys. Yeah. There's a cool scene in Batman v Superman where Batman's trying to hack into the Lexus network.
Craig should be Batman.
Oh,
it wouldn't be bad. I want to see Robert Pattinson. I really want to see.
I'm stoked.
I guess Colin Farrell is supposed to be the Penguin.
Yeah. They're going to do something.
Those are some hard shoes to fill, man.
Yeah.
DeVito nailed it.
Yeah, I mean, I like my Penguins short, paunchy, and bald, but you know, I'm giving him a shot. I like Colin Farrell too.
Yeah. I think someone, Mark Bernardin on another podcast, listened to. It's called Fat Man Beyond. He says about the Penguin. The Penguin is like, all of Batman's villains are really just reflections of himself, right? And Oswald Cobblepot is like Bruce Wayne in that he's another rich guy who comes from a rich, family, waspy family, except he turned to evil, right? Like, he took the shortcuts, and he's greedy, and all he ever thinks about is kind of whether he's like a gangster or running some sort of like killing off all the children in Gotham, like in Batman Returns. But he is what Batman would be if Batman maybe just didn't have that kind of like moral compass and just kind of, said, oh, I hate the world and I'm going to get what's mine. So that's kind of a neat reflection of the characters. The one movie I really like, to me, my favorite DC movie it gets better with every watch, and I just love it, is Shazam. Shazam hit
I totally agree with that.
Yeah, Shazam hit the magic of a character that we really hadn't seen before, right, in the past 50 years, at least on movies. We hadn't seen since serials of like the 40s, right? We had not seen Shazam. It had a likable guy in Zachary Levi who could be light. He understood that this character is, I'm a boy that now has superpowers. I'm big, but with Superman's powers. And it was an easy enough story to follow along. Hey, I'm a kid, almost like Harry Potter. I'm a kid that finds out I'm special. I don't really think I'm special, but I get powers. And I've got another guy, an adult, that wants to steal these powers. And it's also the core of the film, the heart of the film is about family, about being a kid that's an orphan whose parents didn't even want him, and he has to live with his foster family, and the foster family takes him in, and he slowly realizes at the end of the film that his brothers and sisters of this foster family and his parents really do love him, and he comes to accept that. And like, that's the heart of the film, which makes it, really, really touching when they're like, Billy, we love you, you're my brother. And he's like, I don't know you. And but that's the right, the beating heart of the film, which makes it so good. So yeah, give me more Shazam. Like, what an exciting character Everything else is fine. Aquaman's fine. It's a little long.
I did not like Aquaman.
Wonder Woman was great the first 2/3, but the third act with like Ares, like I knew Ares was the bad guy because it was my favorite Lupin from Harry Potter. Hello, Harry. You know, Wonder Woman. It's just all bad guys coming around. You know, you can look at me. You can trust me. Right? And you're like, oh, he's the bad guy because he's got an ugly, like, British accent and like,
stereotypes.
He's like, you're in a land of Amazonians and you're fugly, so you got to be the bad guy.
All right, yeah. I'm really a god of war in this World War One. You see, I'm just raking off all the powers and the death and the maelstrom, and that gives me powers. It does. Ladies and gentlemen, that was David Thule.
Is right on. Is spot on. I'll just say like that. I feel like their directors are a lot of misguided, and I think that part of that comes from the studio is trying to like crank out these pictures.
Yeah,
like giving a lot of thought to them. Yeah. So I think we got a lot of stuff that just nobody wants to follow through on because nobody wants to do another Batman movie. Yeah. Superman is dead. You know, I mean, but I'm hoping that they're kind of turning the corner. I am excited for the new Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah.
Kristen Wiig is as the villain, the cheetah. I was like, damn, all right, let's see that. So yeah, she's good looking, you know. Get the cheetah out.
I think like what you said too is like Superman, Batman. Hey, lock them away for another 10 years.
Yeah, bring them back.
Don't touch them. Give us characters that we've not seen before. A lot of
that's the problem.
Yeah, a lot of the magic is show me a character like Aquaman that I've not seen on movies before. I don't have 30 years of movies about Aquaman. The movie's not great or perfect by any stretch, but it's entertaining because I've not seen it before.
You know what I thought was awesome? I don't know if you guys watched the TV show Flash.
Oh yeah.
Which, by the way, I would say the one thing DC has gotten right
is
their television programming because I love all the shows that they put out. And recently they did a huge crossover event.
The Crisis on Infinite Earth.
On Infinite Earth. And in the final episode, they actually had the Justice League Barry Allen, Ezra Miller.
Oh, don't even get me started.
But he popped up as a cameo, which here's the thing is, I do not like Ezra Miller as the Flash.
Thank you.
He's too fucking dumb.
Yes.
And that was my biggest complaint about the Justice League movie is like, Barry Allen is smart as fuck. Why is he acting like an idiot? Like, he's goofy, yes. He's supposed to be like a little...
What's brunch about here?
Yeah, a little naive, but like, not to the point of being like, this guy's a savant. Like, you know? Like, there's, you know, and so Ezra Miller's version of like, Barry Allen, it was like, dude, you're dumbing this guy down way too much because here's a guy who's supposed to be super intelligent. He works for the crime lab. He's just a generally smart guy, and you're just making him seem like an idiot. Like Flash is a great character.
Absolutely.
And I honestly think they did this as a huge injustice. Like when Justice League was there was a big petition for the Flash
the Snyder
show.
Oh.
Or like Flash movie independently, they wanted the guy who did the Grant Gustafson, who does the Flash on the show, to be that Barry Allen because he does such a great job as Barry Allen. But the cool thing is, I was like, all right, well, the good thing about these Infinite Earths is that there's more than one Flash.
Absolutely.
And so I can still enjoy my my TV Flash and not have to appreciate the. And I was like, man, if they just took the Suicide Squad and put it on the small screen, that would be great because they do great crossover events. They have Supergirl. They have Black Lightning. They have the Arrow. They have the Flash. They have Batwoman in there as well, which I what's her name?
Ruby Rose.
Ruby Rose was not. She's very.
She's a wooden actress.
She's very androgynous, but like intriguing in a way. But I think she's good. Like she just does a good job. But like they do a fantastic job crossing all these things over and like having these crossing. The Legends of Tomorrow is amazing. Yeah. Like that's a great one too. But it's those, like to your point, Adam. Like it's those characters that like they'll hint upon other like Batman and Superman and stuff like that. But like so obviously Superman pops up in a very like minor way, but Supergirl's the prime person. But Batman and all those other guys, like they don't ever pop up. It's these like kind of side characters that don't get a lot of like play that are awesome. So
Derek, I'm just so glad you have articulated years of my feelings. Inside baseball, James Dean and I, not so much James, he was just kind of sit, but there's another, I'm going to call him Aldo, who prefers Ezra Miller, and he and I have had verbal sparring matches that go on for years about who's the superior Flash. And obviously, it's Grant Gustin.
Yes.
Over Ezra Miller. And so when I'm sitting on my couch, right, last week, I'm sitting on my couch watching this, and to me, the crossover was fine. It was a little long. It was the best crossover.
I don't like the moderator's a bad guy.
Yeah,
it was my favorite.
He was
anti-moderator.
Yeah. But anyways, I'm sitting on the couch watching. My wife's in the other room, and I gasp. I go, and she goes, what? She thinks like maybe I lit something on fire, or I dropped something, or I've broken something. And she comes out, and I'm screaming at the TV, and I took a video, and she goes, oh, shut up. And it's Ezra Miller and Grant Gustin. And you know, the nice thing about the crossovers, they had brought people from the movies and different TV shows that were on 20 years ago just to stop. They even had Burt Ward, the original Robin from the Adam West Batman, like show up for 5 seconds, like, holy smokes, you know. Wow. So that was the cool part, but I didn't know Ezra Miller. And apparently it turned out that a Warner Brothers executive had called the CW guys and said, hey man, is there any way we can get Ezra Miller in on this? And they're like, are you serious? They're like, yeah, no. Is there any way we can do it? They're like, yeah, we've already filmed everything. We didn't think that the DC movies wanted anything to do with us. And they're like, no. This would be really cool because we're trying to get another Flash movie with Ezra Miller. I think it'd just be super cool to have him. They said, yeah, sure, fly him up to Vancouver. So they went to Vancouver, put on the outfit again. This was all in post. Yeah. Filmed it, and it was just like, hey, you're the Flash too? And Grant Gustin's like, yeah, no, I'm in the middle of trying to save the universe. Oh, yeah.
Cyborg told me this would happen.
I told Vic, this would happen, and I was so mad.
Cool suit. Looks very breathable.
Yeah. It was, oh my gosh. But again, the TV shows, you know what the TV shows did? They built it off of one show, which was Arrow, and okay, this is a decent show. Yeah. Oh, let's introduce the Flash, and let's introduce Ray Palmer, the Atom. You know what I mean? They started introducing small characters.
The way Marvel did it in the big screen.
Exactly. So they did that. They took their time. They built the audience, and they educated the audience. Now, I personally, like my dad and I, we tried to watch Arrow when it first came out. It was okay. We didn't keep up with it, but once you said, next fall, they're going to do a Flash show. Boom, we were on Flash from the beginning.
Me too.
Supergirl comes out. Like, oh, I'm really into Supergirl, and I really liked Legends of Tomorrow. The other thing I would like to point out, if you haven't watched it, I don't know if you have the DC app, but Titans on there is tremendous, and Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol!
Like,
it's my favorite. I do have the DC app, and I specifically got it solely for the Doom Patrol.
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, man. He's great. Timothy Dalton.
Yes.
I mean, they got a whole bunch of really great actors in there.
There's two people, and I think again. I mean, I know we have two movie podcasts, but I don't watch a lot of TV.
Okay.
But I think there was a show where Lobo was in it.
Yeah, he was on Krypton.
He was on Krypton.
So and I saw like pictures of him. He looked whack.
He was skinny.
Yeah. It's like Lobo's this big, like almost like Jason Momoa size guy.
Jason Momoa would have been the perfect like central casting
or even Roman
of Lobo.
Yeah, wrestling.
You need a big. This guy was too skinny. The show of Krypton was on Sci-Fi. Was like the adventures of Superman's grandpa while still on Krypton.
Yeah.
And a time traveler, Adam Strange, comes back and says, "Hey, your grandson. Newsflash! This planet's going to blow up, but your grandson is going to be rocketed." This planet called Earth, he's going to be called Superman. So, you know, it's almost like Back to the Future, right? So he talks to the grandfather, and he's like, hey, man, you need to, like, hook up with this chick so you can have babies, because this baby's going to become Superman. But also, this planet that we're on is going to explode. So, go with it.
That's a weird premise.
I heard it was pretty good. I didn't watch it myself.
I didn't watch it, and apparently...
I just love Lobo.
Apparently they were going to do a Lobo spin-off show, and it got,
that would be great.
And it got nixed
by
Sci-Fi. But I just read the other day that Michael Bay is attached to doing a version of Lobo for the big screen.
Michael Bay was made to do Lobo. It's just, but see, Lobo is everything about like 80s and 90s comics that were just obnoxious, like big guns. And it was a commentary on like Cable and all these guys that just had big guns and were dumb. And
I hate what they did to Cable, man. Like, Cable's one of my favorite from the X-Force.
And Deadpool?
Yeah. And again, I didn't
think it was that bad. Funny thing is, I always thought I thought that Cable was black.
Well, it's Bishop.
Bishop. Yeah, and then I was like, then I realized
another big dude with like a huge gun that traveled through time.
Dudes, yeah. Oh, but the other one for DC. It's like, okay, we've had 80 billion Batman movies. Why not give us Batman Beyond? Like how?
Yeah.
Like, that's so easy.
Yeah, and you could bring back Keaton, and he could be in the wheelchair because he's older.
That'd be so. And I think it shows like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which I love dearly, showed that you can do that. You can introduce another character as Spider-Man, as Batman, if he's younger, maybe a person of color, and audience are like, cool, because what also worked too with the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is you had your standard Spider-Man and Jake Johnson, like the Spider-Man we've seen in movies, and but then you had Miles Morales, which was an interesting new take on a character. Why can't you do that with Batman Beyond, and do something, tell a fresh story with
into the Batverse?
Yeah.
I'm excited they're going to do a Into the Spider-Verse Part 2.
Yes.
And I was really hoping that like they would... you ever seen that episode of Simpsons where Homer goes to the real world?
Yeah.
And he's like a real world. I was like, man, that'd be so great if they did that with Miles Morales. If he's like the cartoon, but he's in the real world and he runs into Andrew Garfield and like Tom Holland and stuff. That'd be amazing. Or like their cartoon versions of it.
Do you think they could do it with Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, like everyone all together?
I was kind of hoping they did that. Have you seen Into the Spider-Verse?
I know.
There's this beautiful scene. I'm sure you've seen the meme of where the Spider-Man's like pointing at each other.
Yeah.
Right? So at the end of the movie, they get Oscar Isaac, who sounds and looks so much like Jake Johnson, right? He's Spider-Man 2099, and he's like, okay, well, we need to go back to the beginning. We need to go to 67. And they go to Spider-Man 67, which is the old cartoon, the Spider-Man, Spider-Man. And he comes out, and this guy goes, well, who the heck are you? And he was Spider-Man. And he goes, no, I'm Spider-Man. I'm here to help you. And he goes, why are you pointing at me? And he goes, I'm not pointing at you. You're pointing at me. And he goes, you're the one who's pointing. So then they have the Spider-Man meme of like the two of them pointing at each other. And like it has stupid old J. Jonah Jameson's like, well, shoot one of them. And they're like, you're the one who's pointing at me. That's awfully rude. You're the one pointing.
Yeah, that was a great end scene.
Just like a little gag. But
I like that they include like some not so well-known Spider-Man too. They had Noir Spider-Man, which was Nick Cage, which he did the voice of that. Plays a great Noir Spider-Man.
Spider-Ham was the best. John Mulaney's Spider-Ham.
That's right.
Speaking of Nicolas Cage, National Treasure 3.
I heard about that.
Are we running out of treasures to find, to search for?
You know what's really funny? So I was watching, I said a while back, I was watching The Rock, and then I heard about National Treasure, and then I was like thinking to myself, like, it'd be really funny if like they were the same person, because at the very end he finds out he finds the treasure of like, thanks to at the end of The Rock he finds the microfiche of who shot Kennedy. At the very end, I'm like, it's a little tidbit of National Treasure sprinkled in the.
You can't do the crossover. You can't like that crossover and not like my Matrix 4 and John Wick crossover.
I liked it. I know. I dug that. When I heard that, I thought,
damn it.
It comes out on the same day.
What if we could do...
It's perfect marketing. He can't lose. You're Keanu or you're Keanu. They just throw Bill and Ted's out on the same day, too, and just let it all happen together.
Bill and Ted since the feet...
Oh, my God. Oh, okay, so what if John Wick is... So, I don't know, Neo just taking the blue pill, right? Like, if he's just like, I want to live in a fantasy, and the machines are like, well, what if we made you the most killer, like, badass dude alive? Like, you need a little pain and suffering.
Well, what if John Wick was... what if John Wick was just they put him in after he gets taken away at the very end of the third Matrix, Neo's taken away. What if they put him in a training simulator for John Wick to train him to come back and like be the destroyer
evil
of
John Wick. Evil Neo.
Well, no, not even that he's evil Neo. It's just that they need somebody so well trained to fight the machines and the bad guys that they need to like put him, because he's not he's a fighter, but
it's almost like a Super Saiyan like Goku, I have to train in this thing for like weeks on end before I'm tough enough to get Frieza.
Maybe everybody he kills that's after him is just part of the program.
Or what if Bill and Ted failed and that it became the Matrix future?
Or what if it's a situation where they're Bill and Ted don't just travel in time and they go to the multiverse, and that is just an alternative version of Ted.
Oh my God! Like, Theodore Logan?
Yeah, I mean, because he
Theodore
could be
Logan,
John Theodore Wick.
John.
That's right. And I don't know who's and Mr. Thomas Theo Anderson.
Esquire.
Esquire.
Yeah, guys, we are writing this right now.
That's
Like,
right.
This is why we have this podcast.
And the Matrix is what's his Ted? It's what's Ted? No, he's Ted Logan. He's Bill Preston.
Bill Preston Esquire.
Bill Preston Esquire is the Matrix.
what if Bill's grandfather was in
Oh,
A Walk to Remember? Well, right?
Well, you know, in Bill and Ted's 2, Misty does marry that guy, the old guy from the future. Was it Dieter or something like that, right? Like,
I forgot. I've not seen.
We're going too far down the rabbit hole.
Oh my god,
that's because we took the red pill.
Yeah, but isn't also red pill like those awful like men's rights activists? Right?
Really?
Yeah, I don't want to sully these airwaves with these.
I don't want to promote that either.
Yeah. But yeah. So the the 6 degrees of Theodore Logan.
Oh yeah, it's it was Denobius was the bad guy.
Zenobius?
I just remember, was it Station or Function? What was the little...
Station.
And they're like sumo wrestlers, and then they become that one big thing.
Oh, that's man. Right. What was going on in the early 90s that we thought, this is cool. Like, this is awesome. Movies.
Because I mean, like, even you think about, like what's that movie that had Keanu Reeves in it, too? Where they turned
Bram Stoker's Dracula?
Was it Freak Show? Not Freak Show.
Johnny Mnemonic.
Wait, what?
The one I talked about. They get turned into... they go to this carnival. They turn into, like...
Freaks.
Yeah, Freaks. Sorry, there we go.
The old Freaks from the 30s?
No. The one with Alex Winters.
Yeah. Oh. So they're both in it, too.
Yeah.
But that was the 90s. That's the type of movies that, like, just... I mean, you think about the craziness and the wonkiness of the movies. Like, that's what it was, and it was entertaining, and no one really questioned it.
I mean, we were living a golden age of America when that was a movie, and you're like, this is cool.
Yeah, now
everything's
going
so great.
Seriously.
Yeah, this is fun, dude. Let's all drink some high C and put on some, like, OP topsiders, and then 9/11.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
And you know who is also in Bill and Ted, the new one, Face of Music? Love of My Life, Samara Weaving.
Really?
Yeah, she pays
she look like me.
Thea Preston. Plays Bill S. Preston Esquire's daughter, I think.
Oh, man.
So, I'm super excited.
Hello.
Look, Tank, if this Matrix, John Wick crossover doesn't work, why can't we do Johnny Mnemonic and The Matrix? I mean, it's the same film. It's the same film.
Or Skinner Darkly. Anyways, so yeah.
So anyway, hey, so what did y'all watch this week?
Yeah.
That was the intro of the show.
Oh my gosh, the preamble. No, we anything lately that I've seen that's like tough guy movies. One of the things I guess we could talk about too is just with the Academy Awards. I know this is the Going Commando podcast, but I always like to call these films, quote, tough guy movies. These are movies that my brother and I watch where you have to be like overly masculine, right, and use harsh language, and it's either about cops or like Scorsese films or like something like Commando or Predator where stuff blows up. But along those lines, The Irishman, right? The Irishman grabbed a lot of Academy Awards. In short, The Irishman, it's a fine movie that should have been made 30 years ago or just with different actors. It's way too long. And it's a greatest hits, right? Like it's a movie that, have you seen Goodfellas?
Yeah.
Have you seen Casino? Those are good films. Watch those. Yeah. Heat, I'm not crazy about.
Get out.
Oh my God.
Out.
You know what I am crazy about? Righteous Kill, 2006 thriller with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. My brother and I went to see this at a movie theater here that served alcohol, and it was 2006, and so we both had pitchers of beer. And I'm drinking, and midway through the movie, I just shout out in the theater, "He's the killer!"
Oh no!
And I was right. But I was drunk at the time. My brother goes, "Shut up! Keep it down!" And this was at the old Galaxy Theater, or the Rialto. I don't know if you know the Rialto.
I've been to the Rialto.
Ugh,
oh wow!
Oof!
Yeah,
oof! But I shouted at the top of my lungs who the.
When I first moved to Texas, I lived up.
Like 35.
So I lived up near Universal City.
Oh, okay. Hey, so my backyard.
So when I first I lived. I had an apartment there for like about a month while I was waiting to find a house. So it was right there. So I would drive by there. So it was like learning the area. So I went there, and at first I was like, wow, this is great. We don't have anything like this back home. Went to a movie there. They had drinks, and it was great. And then I started going to other theaters, and I was like, oh fuck, Lord, this is. I'm in the ghetto.
I grew up in that area.
No. I mean, I just went to the movie theater. Like,
I saw Mortal Kombat at that movie theater. I've seen all like Batman and Forever. Like I've seen all the movies of the '90s. I saw when it was called The Galaxy. It was never great. It was never a great movie theater. But I saw.
It just looks sticky.
The floor, everything is sticky. The walls are sticky.
Yeah.
I saw Revenge of the Sith, or the third of the prequel movie there in 2006. And I show up, right, and it's a midnight movie, and my brother and I are going to go because we're real jazzed about it. And there's a guy in his mom's bathrobe and another guy in a Boba Fett helmet with a backpack, and the guy goes, I need not pay for tickets, for I am a Jedi. The lady's like, oh, that'll be $12.50. Like, I need not pay for tickets, for I am a Jedi. I'm like, what a loser. As my brother and I shuffled in and saw this movie, and I guess we couldn't wait for the next day to see what was it, Revenge of the Sith or whatever.
So good.
It is good. No, it's the best of the prequels. It's a good, and then comparing to the Star Wars movies now, it's actually pretty solid. Like it holds up if you compare it to the new movies now.
People say it's the worst, but it's like, but how is it the worst?
No,
Attack of the in there.
Yeah, my son. So we went to go see the new Star Wars movie today.
Yeah,
he hadn't seen it, and I saw it initially, and I was like, he was just begging me to go see it again, and I'm like, you know, dude, all right, I'll take you to go see it. Like I don't care if I didn't care much for it. Like I'll go watch it again with you. And so we leave, and he's like, we're sitting in the draft house, and just the credits are going up. Like, ready? He's like, yeah. He goes, Dad, before I give you my thoughts, like, what did you think about it? And I'm like, it wasn't that bad. I'm like, what did you think? He's like, I don't think it's appropriate for me to say in this theater. So we're leaving, and I'm like, he's like, here. I'm like, you know what? Let's have the conversation in the car because people are waiting in line. I don't want to. If anybody's waiting to see it, I don't want you. So we're driving down the road. A few minutes out, like take the turn, and I'm like, so wait, what did you think? He's like, well, trying to articulate how terrible it was. He's like, it wasn't as bad as Cats.
Well, you saw Cats?
No, but he just heard it's terrible. He's like, I'm like, well, I was sure shit hope not. And he's like, out of all the bad guys you could have ever brought back on all the Star Wars history, you brought back this decrepit old man. Spoiler alert. You bring back Palpatine. He's like, two things. He's like, one, you couldn't have brought back like Darth Maul or somebody who's like a badass. He's like, you bring back this old dude. He's like, what does that mean for Vader? His death is pointless at this point. He's like, because he throws Palpatine off the edge and like dies doing good. He's like, just to have it undone. He's like, so what? Like, you're gonna have the same thing happen to like Kylo Ren, except he's not gonna come back. He's gonna be a Force ghost. He's like, where did they go? He's like, I don't understand either, Dad. He's like, where did they go? He's like, yeah, I get it. They used up all their Force energy, but like, where the hell does their body go? He's like, Leia's been dead, like under the blanket for like 2 days, and all of a sudden she now just disappears. He's dead for like 2 seconds, and he just poof, magically gone.
He should be on the show.
He should. Yeah. I was like, told my wife, I'm like, he has all my love of cinema and all the critiquingness of Siskel, Ebert, and James Dean all rolled into one.
Oh my god!
Mini Jimothy,
little mini Jimothy. Yeah. So I was like, man, I'm like, all right. I'm like, well, you know, buddy, it's a sci-fi movie. Yeah. You kind of just have to take it with a grain of salt. Like
it's like the it's almost of like the futuristic Game of Thrones. Yeah. You know. I was like, if you like some person, you know, they die. And
one thing I'd heard too was from a big Star Wars fan named Mike. He said, like, I'm just glad we got an ending. I'm just glad it ended. Not all movies get that. And I was like, that's like the saddest, most backhanded compliment. Yeah. Like, at least it ended.
Yeah. At least it ended. Kinda.
I was thinking to myself, you know, one of the reasons that, like, let's say Lord of the Rings worked, like the first Lord of the Rings movies work, is because the plot itself is super simple. The plot is, I have this ring, and we have to destroy it. Do you want to come with me to destroy it? Okay. There's a bad guy that's trying to kill us, but I have to destroy this ring. Do you want to come with me? Cool. That's the plot. Yeah. That is the entire plot. Now you've got all kinds of characters. You've got a whole Middle Earth. You've got this huge sprawling canvas. But the plot is, do you want to come with me to destroy this ring?
That's the action.
Cool. That's all it is.
And then it's just everything happens as a journey. But
Yeah.
you still only have that one singular goal in mind.
The action.
Which is
the
destroy the
whole goal.
ring.
Yeah, exactly.
And now
100%.
you've got this latter trilogy that had too many cooks in the kitchen. It's a, what do they call it? A camel, because it's a horse drawn by committee. The movie itself is too long. Again, I cannot watch a movie that's over 2 hours and it just has so many like twists and turns and stuff that doesn't make sense. I personally thought if you streamline the movie, if this movie was just Kylo Ren is the bad guy, like I'm the monster heel now, and Rey is a good guy, like just the super baby face. You just have these two people, and they have to fight it out. Like it's as easy and it's as old as time, and that's the story. Like the story would have just been, it would have been good, and then boom, end.
Or if you're going to do a redemption story, okay? If you're going to do a true redemption story, start the movie off with him wanting to be redeemed, like for Kylo Ren, right?
Yeah.
Or Ben Solo, whatever you want to call him, his surname, Solo, because he starts with the whole movie with like knowing that Palpatine is out there. Palpatine's been pulling the strings. Palpatine is pretty much the whole reason that he's a douche canoe in the first place, and he's like, I want to fucking kill you. Like, I'm going to kill you, and that's all there is to it. And Palpatine's like, no, you will kill this girl, and I won't tell you why I want you to kill her. And he's like, okay, sure. Like, I'm going to go out there and kill her. Like,
I got nothing going on.
But you know what? Like, honestly, it should have been at that point where he's like, okay, great, leaves, and is like, fuck you. I'm going to go join the Resistance. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to work together to kill Palpatine. I'm going to redeem myself through the whole movie and show you why I'm a redeeming person. And
But again, it's like your son saying, like, then Han's death is pointless too.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that gives it the extra redemption, but it's like, no, dude, you already killed your dad.
But
like,
do you remember when I was really bad? But I'm good now.
Yeah, it's like,
but
no,
he's like,
dude, you killed your dad.
I know, that's like, to me, watching it, and obviously it's a fictional thing, but his redemption story at the end would be as if, like, Hitler.
You know what, guys? My bad. Free them all up. Hope y'all can forgive me.
Hitler, like, all of a sudden did something nice for one of the allies, and then like, his dying breath, she's like, I didn't like Hitler, but I loved Adolf. And then they made out, and then it's like, goodbye, sweet prince.
No.
You are genocide, man. You blew up planets, dude.
Yeah.
Like, millions of people on that planet. You blew up a whole fucking planet. And
three planets. Remember, because they had the three little lasers that go at the beginning.
And then on top of that, like, don't you blow up a bunch of planets? You kill your mom. You led to the death. You killed your dad. You pretty much, your mom had to kill herself just to distract you long enough. And I mean, Jesus, man, it's like,
what is he? Who is he? Vegeta?
You're just genocidal maniac.
And he's the only one that can get away with it.
And then but it's like,
I will say, the person that has like the longest kind of like career arc that makes most sense is Emperor Palpatine. All he wants to do in all 9 movies is find a kid to take over the family farm. He thinks he finds a kid in Anakin, right, and kind of raises him up and does things behind the scene, only to have him kind of like turn it over on him. He has a kid that doesn't want to take over the family business, who has another kid in Rey, right? Doesn't want to take over the family business. Tries to get Kylo Ren, but Kylo Ren kind of does. Right? Yeah. Tries to get Luke. Like, all he's ever doing is trying to get kids to take over the goddamn family business. I just want to die
already.
He's like, I'm leaving it in your hands. And we're like, I don't think so. You know what I blame? Millennials. Space millennials.
Millennium Falcons.
The Millennial Falcons.
The Millennial Falcons.
Space Millennial
Falcons. The thing
is,
Palpatine is a repeating episode of To Catch a Predator, honestly. Like, he is. He's like,
go ahead and sit down.
He's like, go ahead and sit down. So Palpatine, look, like, we've read the chat transcripts, and you've been here before.
I was just trying to tell him not to trust guys like me.
Not to trust guys like me. I was telling him, don't kill everybody.
I was trying to be a mentor toward
That's right. I was trying to tell him, don't kill everybody in the universe. That's what I was trying to say. But the chat transcripts say, fucking kill them all. Every last space scum.
It was role playing. We were just role playing.
Excuse me, who are you? You don't even know who I am right now.
I was like, am I free to go? I'm going to go into hiding for 30 years, and then I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to try this all over again. And then he does it, and Chris Hansen comes up and be like, Palpatine, buddy, we just met 30 years ago, literally. I was in here with Luke. and we're having this conversation, and now we're back again, and you're trying to you change it up now. You're getting with this Ben Solo character.
That's one of my favorite episodes of To Catch a Predator is when it was actually one of the first seasons where you see the guy come back again.
The one at McDonald's?
The one at McDonald's. I'm like,
and
dude.
He literally goes, in all my years of journalism, I've never been short for words.
I can't go to McDonald's now.
I was just getting something to eat.
What?
I was just getting something to eat. I was just getting something to eat.
Yeah, let me read you the chat transcripts. That is Palpatine in a nutshell.
Exactly.
Just one guy who has not learned after 3 episodes of Catch Predator.
And 3 generations, right?
Yeah.
Like Anakin, Luke, Ray, just give up. Or, give to somebody else. Like, there was that one guy that was like, I've really been loyal to you. Okay, you know what? Why don't you take over?
Yeah. Why are you choosing, Skywalkers and Skywalker family? Or friends? You know what I'm saying? Hey, stay away from them. Like, they're bad news. They don't like you.
Apparently, in the future, you could also just identity theft people like the Hulk. Like, she's at the very end, spoiler, and she's like, what's your name? Ray Skywalker. Ray Skywalker.
That was such a grown moment.
You don't have to
Cool. That's legit.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. Sounds good. This is their farm, do you want to move in? Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. It was willed to me. I just don't have the documents right now.
So you're just going to give it to me, right?
What are you burying in the yard? Nothing.
No.
Then on the sea here.
Mind your damn business.
Here's the question. Why would she bury the lifesavers, too? That's what I wanted to know. Are you just never going to wield a lifesaver again?
Is she going to operate the moisture farm now? Or what's going to happen? And that was a 3-person job with Uncle Owen, Aunt Beru, and Luke, and he wanted to just go to Tashi for power converters.
And he built robots to help him.
You can play with your friends later. I need you for another season, Luke.
The best part of that entire movie, though, was the little guy who worked on C-3PO.
Oh, yeah. He had some little...
Barack, what was his name?
I want to say Bebo, but I'm thinking of Crisis. I think, though, that also leads to why The Mandalorian works. The Mandalorian works because, A, you don't have to tie anything back really to the Star Wars universe. The Mandalorian's canvas is space anarchy. Really, it's space anarchy. There's a power vacuum. You have old soldiers that are now just mercenaries, and you've got people that are just trying to scrape a living to get by. And it's kind of the fallout of the Civil War. There is no real power in the country anymore, and you've got soldiers that were fighting, and you've got money that's in currency that's useless. But it's a cool little backdrop, and I think that's why and again, what's the story of The Mandalorian? The story is, I've got this kid.
Babu Frick.
And Boba Head.
Boba Head.
But no, I think that's what, again, The Mandalorian is I've got a kid and we're on the run.
Yeah. Mandalorian on the run.
And surprisingly enough,
Man on the run.
Surprisingly enough, Poe Dameron's love interest in that is Carrie Russell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, did not know that because she didn't take her helmet off at all.
Yeah, well, she didn't have to.
I was like...
That was a very form-fitting space outfit.
Well, she was blonde. I totally thought it was somebody else, through the whole movie.
No, watching enough Americans, I know those eyes anywhere.
Oh, my God.
You're a double agent.
And you know who's good in another movie? Is that Billie Lourd, the daughter of Carrie Fisher?
Yeah.
She's there for a couple of seconds Empress, General, we need to do something. I'm like, all right, whatever. But I've seen her in that Booksmart. Boy, howdy. This isn't the Commando podcast, but Booksmart. Check it out.
American Horror Story. She's in American Horror Story, too.
She looks a lot like her grandmother, Shirley MacLaine, I think. More than Carrie Fisher.
Well, guys...
are we out of time?
We
talked.
Didn't get to our topic of the day, which was going to be Predator.
We talked about catching a predator.
Which would have been an awesome segue. But unfortunately, we are having almost out of time here. I wanted to read you. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, Derek, or maybe Adam. But I saw a funny IMDb for an actual movie.
Oh, okay.
The Velocipaster.
I've heard about this.
I just watched it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime.
Let me read
Let's hear it.
the plot to it, and I was like, this can't be real.
James, I think we were talking about it in the horror podcast.
Yeah, I think so too. That's why it sounded familiar. But after losing his parents, a priest travels to China where he inherits a mysterious ability that allows him to turn into a dinosaur. At first horrified by this new power, a prostitute convinces him to use it to fight crime and ninjas.
Story checks out, I gotta say.
You know what I'm seeing? You guys may be seeing a B movie. I'm thinking Jurassic World 3.
Oh,
yeah.
You say B movie,
I say
Jeff Goldblum.
That's right. Velocipaster is going to help wheel in all the dinosaurs with Sam Neill and Laura Dern and Jeff Goldblum.
I just want to I want the most pretentious well, I like the satirical look at Kafka about how you turn into a being that horrifies you, but
right.
were you horrified by yourself all along?
And the Lord gives you the power to be vicious like a raptor.
Yes!
Yet-
Oh my
yet
God!
loving like a man.
Velocitransubstantiation, like you change form.
And you could take advice from prostitutes because they are just people too.
They are my people.
They are my people.
Well, I mean, who hung out with the tax collectors and the prostitutes?
G.O.D.
Velocipaster. That's who.
That's right. Because
Blasphemy.
Jesusaurus.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus, that would be great.
Jesusaur Rex.
Jesusaurus Rex
Oh,
and
Penny.
Velocipaster.
Trademark that. We could make
That's
a
right.
lot of money off
Oh,
that.
man.
It's a new buddy cop crime duo.
Oh my God. Was it good? Like, for what it... Okay, look, when I'm saying is it good, I'm just saying, on the premise of what that really is...
Yep, it was good.
Was it entertaining, and did it
Yes.
leave it open for a sequel?
Yes and yes.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay, I'm going to check this out.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
Free on
It was
Amazon.
on
Prime. Amazon Prime.
Holy shit, okay.
Go check it out.
I gotta say, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Adam Danger, you are always welcome to come
Thank
in
you for having me,
anytime.
gentlemen.
We will eventually, we'll come back and talk about Predator.
Even if Jimothy is here or not here, you're always welcome
Yeah.
to come. Just don't bring Tanner.
I would not.
It's
There's a one white guy limit.
There's a
here
one
on
white
the
guy
show.
living.
I mean,
Okay,
and we're all booked.
it's like the Highlander. There
can only be one.
There can only be one. Or like the Back to the Future thing. If there's two of us in a room, it's like the space-time continuum explodes. Like,
Is that time cop rules too?
That's way too much Caucasian in one room.
No, yeah. Too much cock and too much Caucasian.
That's right.
Not enough Asian, I gotta say.
That's-
We need to increase that demographic.
I mean, yeah, but we're watching too much 300. That's why.
Oh, God. God. So, side note, in reality, when that really did go down, they did wear armor. Who's going to be dumb enough to not wear armor?
Loincloths. I mean, I just stabbed him on the dick.
You stabbed me in the dick.
That's right. I just stab you on the dick.
Well, guys, that's the show. Thank you for being on here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for having us,
Dirty
buddy.
Derek, you have a great week, guys.
I will.
We'll see you next time. Thank you for listening. Also, I haven't done this in a while. Subscribe to us on Spotify. Like, do it right now. Like, stop what you're doing. Pause this.
Just hit the subscribe button.
Welcome back. Thank you for hitting that subscribe button. Also on Apple Podcasts, don't forget to subscribe. Give us a 5-star rating if you enjoyed it. Tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your sweet old granddad. I don't care.
That's right. Because they like movies too.
They like movies.
The motion pictures, they call them.
That's right. The moving cinema.
The moving pictures. All right, guys. Thank you again for listening, and have a great day. Peace. Hey guys, really quick. I know we said we were leaving, but I forgot our signature. Surprise! We're back. Hey, this is part 2. But yeah, so we just wanted to say goodbye, as we always do. So we'll do it on 1, 2, 3. This one's for you, Jimothy. That was a fail, but I like it. Okay, bye guys. Bye.
I thought we were going to do